All right, this is your sensei, Mr. Spensei, going over combining random variable quiz and also talking about how the points are going to be made on your test. So this will be a good test for you. So two concrete companies, Jimmy Hoffa Cement Services and Mix It Up Services, have decided to go into business together. Jimmy Hoffa's Cement Services runs 47.3 trucks an hour with a standard deviation of 6.2, while Mix It Up Services delivers an average of 81.9 trucks an hour with a standard deviation of 17.8. The sales and deliveries are assumed to be independent for the companies. That's going to be important that they're independent because I need that in order to combine random variables. When the companies join together, what will be the expected number of trucks that are run per hour and with what standard deviation? So means I can add directly or I can subtract them. It's no big deal. So my means were 47.3 and then 81.9. So 47.3 plus 81.7 is 129.2 trucks. And I really should have that label there. That, well, we'll come back to the scoring in just a moment. Standard deviations, I can't add them directly. I have to convert them into variance. I do that by squaring them. So 6.2 squared plus 17.8 squared, all right, gives me 355.28, and that equals 18.8489 trucks. All right, for the standard deviation, this part alone, the standard deviation showing the calculating and getting the answer gets 5 points. No calculation, no points. You have to show the work. You have to show the work in order to get the points. To get the 5 points here, you have to have the sentence. You have to show the work, is that correct? And provide the sentence. On average, we'd expect that the combined business would run an average of 129.2 trucks per hour with a standard deviation of 18.8489 trucks. Didn't have to have the last part, but you had to have the first part, right? So the computation plus the sentence gets you 5 points for the mean or the expected value. And then together you'd get a total of 10 points. 5 points for the standard deviation, then 5 points for the computation here and giving us the sentence. When the companies merge, they are anticipating an hourly profit margin to follow the equation. What is the mean and standard deviation for the profit of the joint venture? So our profit is our context. I write my equation. I can multiply mean or measures of center by a constant, and I can subtract constants from that. So there's my work shown. And so I end up with 3,178.6. That's my expected profit. My standard deviation for the profit, I just plug into the formula, plug my standard deviation above into this formula. And I can multiply by a constant, but I can't add or subtract a constant, so this part goes away. I show it, there's this part from that equation, but then it went away because I'm working with standard deviation. And I should have written off, so this is trucks here. And this is 857.62 trucks. So that right there, that calculation and showing that work will give me 5 points. The other 5 points come from getting the sentence along with this calculation. On average, you would expect that the combined business to profit an average of $3,178.6 per hour. I had to have that in order to get my 5 points with a standard deviation of 857.62. Didn't have to have the standard deviation part in the sentence, but have to have the on average we would expect. So these two things together will get you 5 points. All right, anytime they give you a table, if it's not filled, if they don't have it total, you need to total it out, just like I did here. All right. So a score of a 3, 4, or 5 is considered to be passing on the AP exam. The scores by grade level on a recent AP exam are shown in the table below. Given that a randomly selected student did not pass the exam, all right, so that means they either made a 1 or a 2, all right, then a 1 or a 2, and I really need to show all my work. So this is going to be in the denominator, 12 plus 35. So I need to have that. What is the probability that they are a junior? And 7 plus 19 equals 26 over 47. On the test, if you just give me 26 over 47, and by the way, if you turn it into a decimal, that's great, or a percent, that's great. But if you just give me this, you get no points. If you give me this, you get 5 points. If you give me this, all of that right there, all this boxed, this 10-point question, right? But you have to show me this computation in order to get all 10 points. Just that will get you half. This will get you the other half. Okay? What's the probability that a randomly selected student made a 4 and was a senior? All right, so and tells us we're looking for intersection, so intersection is going to be in the numerator. So they made a 4, but this wasn't given the group. This is out of the total. All right, so 22 out of so 4 and a senior, because look, here's our intersection right here. So 22 out of the 164, because this is the 4 and this is the senior column. All right, so 22 out of 164. This one you didn't have to show any addition. So this would have gotten you 10 points just by showing this work right here. And if you left it as a fraction, that's fine. You would have got the 10 points. Okay, moving on to the next one. All right, a department supervisor is considering purchasing one of 2 comparable backwashing machines, A or B. Backup washing machine costs $10,000 and back washing B costs $10,500. So A costs $10,000 and B is $10,500. The department replaces backwashing machines every 3 years. The repair contract for a backwashing machine A costs $50 per month and covers an unlimited number of repairs. The repair contract for B costs $200 per repair. Based on past performance, the distribution of repairs for any 1-year period is shown below. So I'm not quite ready for this, so you're going to have to hold on. I just want to do this quickly as I input some data. Normally I have this done, but I didn't get it done. So here we go. What are we working with? So 0 enter, 1 enter, 2 enter, 3 enter. That's our X values, and then our frequency 0.35, 0.15, 0.2 enter, and 0.3 enter. Awesome. So I have my data entered into L1 and L2. And I go stat, calc, 1 variable statistics, X list. My frequency this time is second 2. And I ended up getting my mean, and I also get my standard deviation. But if I just show that, I don't get credit. All right. I have to show the work, which is this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this. All right. And then I have to have my sentence. On average, we expect machine B to need 1.45 repairs. All right. That right there is 5 points. When I go to the standard deviation, it's the x's minus that value squared times the probability. Now this probability can be before or after, doesn't really matter, but you need to show it. My x minus my expected squared times the probability. Make sure you have everything in there, otherwise you're going to lose points. And 1.244. If you have this there, you're going to get 5 points. All right, so this was a 10-point problem. But in order to get all 5 points up here, you had to give us a sentence. For backwashing machine B, what is the expected dollar value for the mean and standard deviation? Well, I kind of need to know a couple things. All right. So what is $200 per repair? All right. And So 200. My expected cost will be 200 times the number of repairs. Well, how many repairs do I expect? 1.45. All right. Plus, I also had to pay where is it up here? $50 a month. All right, so 200 times 1.45, and because this was my it's just I should have written this down, but expected cost equals 200 times X, or 200 times the number of repairs. So 200 times 1.45 is 290. So showing my work and then giving a sentence is worth 5 points. So on average, we would expect to spend $290 a year in repairs for machine B. Notice I have my context because it's repairs and what we're spending per year. And then my standard deviation, I just multiply 200 times 1.4. It's $248.80. Make sure you have your label there. And this would also be worth 5 points. Okay. You're asked to give a recommendation based on 3-year overall cost. Okay. Well, in this case, machine A cost $10,000. It's 3 years, so I'm going to have repair costs. So my initial cost is $10,000. This is for 3 years. There's my 12 months at $50 a month. So in this case, we would expect to spend $11,800 over a 3-year period. Initial cost plus this. So this is my cost, $11,800 over a 3-year period. Machine B cost is $10,500 plus 3 years, and we just said that we expect it to cost $290 a year. All right, so that's $11,370. So I would purchase machine B. It's cheaper. All right, how much cheaper? If I wanted to calculate that out, it's 11,800 minus the 11,370. And not that you had to do that, you just needed to say that it was cheaper. So it was really good to say, oh, it's $430 cheaper. I would say $430 over 3 years by purchasing machine B. All right, so given that backwashing machine, I should say B, had at least one repair, what's the probability that it had 2 or more repairs? All right, so here we go. At least one repair. That means this plus this plus this. I have to show that 0.15 plus 0.2 plus 0.3. All right. What's the probability that it had 2 or more repairs? Well, I come back. This right here is 2 or more repairs, which is 0.2 plus 0.3. All right. So once again, at least one would be the sum of these 3 values. And then 2 or more would be the sum of these 2. This part right here, 5 points. This is 5 points as well. All right. And if you gave me that, that's good too. All right. But I have to have this to get the 5 points. From here, I can go straight to there or vice versa. Personally, I'd make sure that I had the fraction to make sure if there's a computational error that I get everything right. But I have to have this to get all 10 points. Okay. That's going to be really important on their test. Hope this helped out a lot, and really good luck to you guys on your tests. Thank you.